All right, here we go. That's good. I needed that. I needed the intro. I think I just need to listen to angry music today. I wasn't going to work out, but I really think I need to go work out. Anyway, hey, welcome to the Stretch Thin podcast.
Where we share our experiences and some encouragement as two men trying, not thriving, in the 21st century. I'm Shannon, a pastor, coffee shop owner, and an author.
And I am Joel, a former pastor, now tech professional, and author. All right, Shannon, let's do this.
Let's go.
I feel like maybe at some point during that intro, when you say trying, and I should like add the like not thriving, I should be the one that says the not thriving part, because I think that'd be kind of funny to add that in there, or not. I mean, it could crash and burn, but I think it might be kind of cool. What do you think?
You are the creative director, sir. So you.
I am not I am the creative director. What am I saying? What am I saying? All right. Well, what a. Can we both be honest? We both didn't want to record this episode at some point. You came around because apparently just a little bit of a walk in some sun makes it better for you. Whereas up until 3, 2, 1 record, I was not wanting to do this at all. So that's good, right? We showed up.
Traveling. You've had to go through the TSA lines, and
I don't get stressed by TSA.
Well, is it really as bad as everyone's saying it is?
So let's see. When I left yesterday morning, no, it took me minutes. I actually showed up I think my flight left at 5 something. Then I showed up to the airport at 5 and went through TSA like that, because I have TSA pre-check, so it goes quick. I treat it like a game. They think I'm so weird, but every time I go through TSA, when I go through the metal detector thing and it doesn't go off, I always go, yes. And I'm like, oh, it's so good when that happens. Because you know how it is. You never want to be the person that's like, you're like, no, what was it? And, especially when you're TSA pre-check, which you're not supposed to have to take anything off. So if it goes off, you're like, what is it? What is it? I had no idea. So anytime it doesn't go off, I'm just like, yes. I literally do that every time. The same move. I go.
You'd rather draw attention to yourself with the celebration rather than the shame of the beating.
Yes, right. And so flying back, it wasn't terrible. I will say it feels like bigger. Like Atlanta is the busiest airport in the world, apparently. And the people that operate out of there, I feel like they're much nice. Like they're better flight attendants. Because when we were flying back from Atlanta to where I am now in Greenville, those flight attendants were not great. Like the guy for the one to Atlanta was actually hilarious. He actually did stand-up comedy on the phone thing. Like he kept doing this thing where he would stop, he would talk, and then he would say the same thing again. So he'd say, choose kindness today. Kindness is a choice. And then, but what he would do is this: he'd leave. We couldn't see him anymore. He'd go around the corner, and then you just hear, kindness is the choice. And he'd click it on. Just would be out of shot. And I was like all of us were laughing so hard. He made fun of a passenger all the way in the back who apparently stood up when he wasn't supposed to. And he was like, just remember that all people are supposed to be in their seats. Apparently he can't hear me. Oh, he can hear me. Oh, so he's not listening. Well, just like kindness is a choice, so is obedience. And I was like, he was so good. And I thought, man, that's actually a pretty cool way to do that. Because everyone else is,
that makes that part of travel so much better.
Oh yeah, so much better. So that was good. But yeah, I just traveling, been tired. What are you doing?
Sorry, I'm gonna send you something because this goes with something I want to share today. So
okay, I don't know. I haven't not a good week. It's been, let's see. I woke up. I coached Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so that meant I was up early, and I wasn't sleeping well, so that meant I was just at risk, which is just the thing. I'm like, that meant I was at risk with anxiety and all that, and it's just been a rough week of that too, right? And I've had conversations about wanting to getting off of the medication and figuring that out and what it would be like. And there's those moments where when you think about, oh, it would be great to see it change, you have that moment where you're like, well, I wish it was that now. And you're just kind of going like, it's just tired. So I was tired from traveling. I was tired from dealing with all the negative thoughts that come from, I, I believe majority of it is from the meds that I take. Right. And so you're just like, just was not a good week. So dark thoughts galore and all that.
Mm.
But there were wins. There were good things. But I mean, like, I went down and I surprised my mom, and it was great for her 70th birthday. She had no idea. Literally showed up to her door, rang the doorbell, have a video. It's on my Instagram, and she was like, couldn't believe it. She started crying. And then we went to dinner later, and my brother showed up because my sister lives down there with her family. But my brother showed up with his girlfriend to dinner, and so it was. And then my dad didn't even know about that too. So like my dad had known about me coming, but we kind of kept it a secret about the other stuff, and so it was really cool. That was a really good time,
That's
and
awesome.
like it was great. But it's just like, man, I woke up this morning. Even at some point yesterday, I was just like, oh, this is just one of those. One like if I'm gonna be honest, right? Because we're trying to be honest. There was one of those. It's been one of those weeks where that thought in your brain goes, "It'd be fine if I didn't wake up tomorrow," and I'm like,
Hmm.
I don't like that thought, but it's there, and I gotta be honest because it was just that's what when I am super tired and I have a lot going on, it's like my brain just I think it's part of it's the side effects of the medication, but it feels like it's harder not to have those thoughts than to have them, if that makes any sense. So
No, it does. I mean, I've talked about this. I don't necessarily find myself having those kinds of thoughts necessarily, but man, there is the when things are hard, like the self talk that I hear in my head is,
mm-hmm.
this is your fault. You've done this. You've made the mistake. You're screwing this up, and just this like this overwhelming sense of like I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble
Yeah,
with myself, or um, yeah, like I don't know. I think it can take on a variety of different iterations depending on who we are and how we're wired. But yeah, I think that's the struggle that so many of us as guys have that we don't even give voice to. We just kind of
right.
live with it.
Yeah,
That's the soundtrack that plays in our head, and we just live with it. And it's like, hey, wait a minute, no, that's not how we're supposed to live. I think
yeah,
I told you this uh, in a message. Like I know that I need to take thoughts captive, but that's not easy.
nope.
Like so. Yeah, you and I had an interesting interchange this week, though. That I've been kind of sitting on, and because I told you one morning, I messaged you and I was like, man, I started late, and the whole day I've felt like I'm late for every, and I don't like being late.
I have a
And
feeling I know what you're gonna say.
you said something to me that I want to kind of like I want to not challenge you on, but I'm like, okay, like you were like, well, don't think that way. And so like, how
You're gonna
does
throw
that
that
work
back
for
at me
you?
now.
How does that work?
Thanks.
Because if I were to say to you, don't think that way, what would you think?
Oh, I'd say you're right. I mean, my tendency is to, and a good friend of mine, a friend of ours, because we all went to the place in Boone together. He was like, "You and I are on the same schedule because this week has been rough for me too, right?" But he was like, "But you reaching out or you and I texting back and forth means so much." And I think that is the difference. Is like I'm forcing myself to be in a better position by putting myself in that position, but you have to know how to get there. So like even as we were talking, like so your question, how do you do that? Well, a lot of times people say go out of yourself. That can help you if you're going into yourself too much, if you're isolating and you're ruminating. Well, I went out of myself and I asked all of our, the people that we asked, or we asked a ton of people, what's your win? And I just keep getting all these wins, and then I just go, that's great for them. That's wonderful. Wow. Oh yeah, cool. Oh, he's lost more weight. Oh, he did this. And I'm like, son of a, just like this had the opposite effect of what it was supposed to do.
I want that
But
win.
yeah, it's like that old picture from the 700 Club where it's the guy praying and he's like, Lord, what is it? Lord, I see you do that for them, and I want that for me. It's like just a picture of that. That's me every time. I'm like, Lord, I see you do that for them. I want that for me. But in all seriousness, what you're saying, I do think, it is part of the not thinking that is to think on the right thing or a better thing, and because it is not that it is inherently the worst or like a wrong thing if you're dealing with that, because it, like, you can't just constantly be like, I can't, I just, like, because yeah, if we're both believers, take every thought captive, yes. At the same time, thoughts present themselves for reasons. Do you just want to be the person swatting a fly, or do you want to be the person who gets rid of the dead animal that's in the house that's attracting the flies? Like, so if you're just always focusing on swatting flies away, you're that's going to be your whole life, is just swatting flies. And so there's an element of, yes, shoo the thoughts away, think on the right thought, but then also you need to understand why is that. And so for me, my wrestle has been, the thoughts that keep coming out of nowhere have to be from something other than myself. Like, I just, it's weird, right? And having commiserated with a bunch of people talking about, like, you were on Prozac too, you're on, okay, very similar stories. And so it's like, all right, so there are other people who corroborate my story, and that, all right, so now I know what the cause is. So now I have a little bit more oomph behind, all right, I can shoo away the stuff until as it dissipates and as I wean off. But I think that's that part, is saying I have to pursue a better thing, and that better thing could be, it could be texting people what was your win, or it could be drinking coffee, or drinking Mayfly coffee, which is very good, and it's fantastic. Get your coffee from Mayfly Roasters up in Chattanooga, because it's really good. Um, or anything, like, it could be just something. So I don't know, like, for you, when I asked you that and you're like, how do you do that, like, what did you do? How did it get better?
Well, I want to say this. I'm glad you said that to me because it ticked me off at first. My first reaction was you know what? I'm riding along and I'm thinking, yeah, okay. If I were to say that to him, well, don't think that way. Then would his reaction be? So that's why I asked you here in front of everybody.
So and you flipped me off in your head when I asked you that question. You're like,
But
you
but here's the thing. I I go back to this phrase that I years ago I did a CrossFit uh, competition. I didn't tell you. I don't know if I told you this. It was Battle of the Ages.
whoa.
I was the oldest in the set of three guys. Um, yeah, obviously. And one of the guys that was on my team, he was in the younger bracket. In fact, he's got one of the wins that we're going to share today. Jacob
Oh, that's
comes
cool.
along and he's there beside me. He's in my ear as we're doing a workout, and he says to me over and over, Shannon, you're made to do hard things. You're made to do hard things, and that just like embedded in my mind at that competition, and I've repeated it ever since. And what's different about that, and what's different about what you said to me, and so much of what we hear, um, I think, out in the world that they say is, oh, you just like you gotta kind of sit in it. You gotta, it's that there's a permission that's given to you. It's
Yeah,
okay to feel that way, and it
right.
is. But if you sit in it, and I love your analogy of the flies or the dead animal. If you
Just
sit in
came up
it,
with that
then
on the spot, by the way.
you're just dealing with the dead animal. And who
Yeah.
like so I think it's helpful for us to be able to say to one another, get up. Don't do that. You
Yeah.
know, like you don't have to sit in this place of just like stress and anxiety. And even if it risks me upsetting you or you upsetting me in the process, then it's a risk that's worth taking because there's a
Yep.
truth in that that I need to hear of. Yeah, I don't have to sit here. It's okay. It's okay that I started my day late and that I'm going into my day later. I don't have any appointments that I'm running late for.
Right.
There's no pressure, so I don't have to sit here and think this way. So I think as much as it's hard to hear sometimes, I think we need to be able to hear a it's okay, but
Yep.
then b don't stay there because you're made to
Right.
do hard things.
Yeah. I like that. You're made to do hard things, and it's true, and it's interesting because it is a balance, right? And also, it you have to be in the community where that would be received well, right? So it's multifaceted. You have one, don't be the person who's only ever like that, like suck it up, Shannon, like when you, because that's where you get, hey, just push it down. You have to keep going because there is an element of it, like you. I'm actually the Substack. I'm probably gonna once I finish writing it. I said one of the things is like it's like a roller coaster. Like life doesn't stop just because you want it or need it to when you're having a hard time, and it's like a roller coaster. You just got on. Like you don't get, you're not done until you're at the station.
Yeah,
It's not, you don't get to the first drop and you're like, hey, and then they stop and you can get off, right? And so it's the same thing, but at the same time, we can't be those overly, now we push it down, push it down, push it down, push it down. And so we've had the push it down people, we had the feel it out people, and now we're trying to find the balance, which is literally what you and I were doing. Is within community and brotherhood, you say, hey, you no, you do, you have to suck it up, and you're made to do hard things, and but I get it, and that's the difference. Like,
yeah,
and I think the even what McGinnis was saying in, he texted me that he's like, you get it. So when you and I talk, like there's a different level, right? And it's true, because then when someone like that says, well, I don't really know if I have a win, or if I say that, right, I don't really know if I have a win, you can very, you have permission, and you're very well, it would be okay for you to do it, to be like, hey, yeah, I know you have a win, so you're going to find one and you're going to say it,
yeah.
not, okay, all right, well, maybe next week. It's like, no, you have a win, so find your win, right? So with that
Yeah.
being said, what was your good and bad this past week? Look at that transition. Oh,
Look at it, man. Like creative
that's fine.
director, just knowing how to like just slide it right on through. So actually, it's been a good week. I've had a like goods. There's been several. I also got to go visit my parents last weekend. We
Yep.
didn't do a recording last week, so but it wasn't a surprise. But I got to go be with my mom and my dad, and my wife and two of our kids went up. So we got to spend like Thursday night, Friday, and came back on Saturday. So much fun. My dad is 75 years old,
Oh man,
and Joel, I sent you a video of him that I think would be really fun to put on.
I
I
just
need
watched it. Was that him skating?
That's him skating,
Oh
and
my
he's
god.
sitting with my nephew, and he was like, he's actually bought recently bought a pair of skates, new pair of skates, because he skated. I mean, my whole life I knew he could skate,
Yeah.
but he
Yeah.
went and bought a new pair, and he, he took his he took his skate. I should say this now. He took his skates to the fellowship hall of their church when no one was there, and he put them on, and he did some laps just to make sure that he still had it.
That's
And then
so
he took
funny.
my nephew skating, and
That he was killing it.
he can do. I mean, he's good. He can cross over and backwards. Like he's. I want to be that when I'm 75. Like I want to be
Yeah.
the guy that continues to just like do that. And so that was a lot of fun. That was a good. Um, yeah, the bad, bro. I'm about over mechanic car issues. Like
You can't catch a break.
so I have our daughter. She drives an old Honda Pilot, and we've had a series of oil leaks and exhaust issues. So that's at the mechanic right now, and so she is driving my wife's van at at school just up the road at college. And so my wife has been driving my previous car, which was a Jeep Wrangler, which our son's going to start driving in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just got a new Jeep Wrangler. So we have two Jeep Wranglers. And this morning or last night, my wife was like, "Hey, can you take?" We name them. The old one is Jolene. The new one is Rip. We name our car. She's like, "Can you take?" Don't laugh. That we Can you take Jolene tomorrow morning because I've got more errands and lots of kids to move around, and you've got more space in your car. So I was like, "Sure, I'll take Jolene." I get up this morning. I'm on my way before dark, before daylight, and I stop to get gas. And when I'm pumping gas, I look underneath my wheel well, and there's this white milky substance that's like all inside my wheel well, and I hear a hissing, and I've gouged my tire, which I plugged and filled with Fix-A-Flat probably 3 months ago, and so now I've hit something, and so now it's blowing out everywhere,
Yep.
and like so 2 hours later, because the jack that I had, um, I couldn't get it to work. It was rusted, and the spare tire had an issue, so I had to call a friend. Got out there. We finally got it off. And I'm having to buy two new tires for this Jeep Wrangler, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
and it just it's so this is kind of the place that I'm camping out. My frustration. I just feel like there's never a place that I can turn that there's not a uh,
Mm.
hey, we need this much money. And so and I mean, a small business owner. I mean, literally this morning at the same time all that's happening, I'm getting texts saying, "Hey, can you send this?" And my assistant saying, "All right, hey, we've got these bills to pay today, and then we got a green coffee order. That's a big coffee green. We need to make sure that there's money to pay that." And all this is happening, and so that transitions over to my
Yep.
family, my home life,
Yep.
and my wife is like, "You just like this, you're always so seem to be stressed about money." And the thing that I hate, that just like wears me out, is this is stuff that has to happen,
Right.
but my family, like I don't want them, and I know they do. They're like, "I don't want to have to ask dad. I'm sorry to have to ask. And they're apologetic, and they feel like they have to come on like tiptoe to ask me
Mm.
for money because they know that there's all of these different things." And I wish that I could find this place to where I could separate and compartmentalize and not let it affect me and my mood at home and my interaction with my family, because
Yeah.
I don't want them carrying that. I'm carrying that, and I don't want them having to feel the residual ich of me, because I'm dealing with the ich of trying to figure out how to fill all of the little buckets that need to be filled. So
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my good and my bad this week. If I were to like encapsulate it, I think that's just kind of where I've been.
Sorry, it is like I'm getting messages from work because that's how it is. It just goes. Um,
You're so funny.
no, good. Um, honestly, I think my good was so last night. So sister, she's married. She has two girls, 6 and 2, and or three, 6 and 3. Anyway, and the youngest one, she's funny. She's a lot like our middle. She's very headstrong and just a powerhouse of a little person. But like so my wife's husband's a firefighter, and sometimes he's on shift, and when you're on shift, like you're not home. And so what ended up happening is, we go out to dinner, it's late, we get back, and we're heading back to their place so that we all can be at my sister's place, because I'm going to sleep there because she lives closer to the airport. And I was like, okay, well, whatever you need me to do to help with bedtime, I can. Like, I can do that because I have 3 kids. Like, I'm in that world, right? And she's like, no, 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 it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Well, we get home, and her oldest, who's 6, like, she gets it. She knows how to, because she's the older sister. So she's like, yep. And so we go upstairs. She helps me find the things I need to help the 3-year-old, because the 3-year-old's the one going to bed, but they both needed to get ready. So they both need to brush their teeth. They both need to go potty, like all that. But like I handled it with the 6-year-old's help, but got the 3-year-old ready for bed. And then like my sister was helping some, but she didn't have to really worry about it. And she was like, I couldn't believe it. Like when you were in the room and you were helping, her daughter's name's Bryn, helping her with her like getting changed, getting her pajamas on and everything and all that, and like helped brush her teeth. It was, I was floored because I knew I didn't have to worry about it. And then what was cool is I got to, so like I prayed, I read a book, prayed for her, and then I sang, because no, they don't really sing in their family. I sing. And so I sang, and she was like, her daughter loved it. She wanted me to put her in the bed. She didn't cry as much that night, and she usually would fuss about going to bed. And I was like, I guess I have to now sing into an audio and then give her that, and she can play it every night. But yeah, like that was a really cool win, because it's like it was just it was a way for me to think the good things, you know. So
Yeah. Okay, Uncle
uh,
Joel. Look at you being the big uncle.
I'm pretty good, pretty good.
Yep.
I'll say probably one of my greatest feats of accomplishment was that like I got her like as a parent, when you have young kids, like getting them in car seats is such a thing, because even just thinking like, is the car seat secure? Are they buckled right? All that kind of stuff. When you have someone who knows how to do that and you don't have to worry about your kid getting buckled right into a car seat, it's like such a great feeling. And my sister said that she's like, I totally forgot you buckled her into her car seat because you just did it. I'm like, because you do that every day. You're just like, all right, kids in the book. All right, good. So bad. Yeah, I think like we already kind of talked about it, but that was my bad this week, was just like, man, my head is just not in a great spot because I'm just exhausted.
Yeah.
And it feels like, yeah, honestly, yes. I feel like this week I feel the most stretched thin that I ever have this week. I'd say that's the bad. It's just like it is on a razor's edge. Uh so just
It's not going to snap though. It's not going to snap.
it's there. So that's my bad. What about a win?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this one. Trying to One of the many things that I find myself hats I'm wearing is a fundraiser right now. We have a
Mm-hmm.
very large project of an 100-year-old building, like literally out my window and around the corner, street corner. We're trying to renovate it and turn it into a nonprofit collaborative center. I'm going to move our cafe over there, 4 floors. It's like a $5 million project,
That's
and we're like
nuts.
we're phase one is like 2.25, and so this week was the 2 year anniversary of us buying the building, and I just absolutely, the thing that I probably despise more than anything is fundraising, is having
Yeah.
those conversations with potential donors, and it's just so not my thing. Well, I was invited to a lunch where a donor was present, and a person that had facilitated that donor giving some previous um, very generous gift to the Oasis Center. And so this lunch was really just an opportunity for me just to kind of say thank you to this particular donor.
Yeah.
And what's been amazing is they've been a customer at the shop, and so they've just given. They've given without really knowing the full scope of the project. So it
Yeah.
gave me the opportunity to unpack the project. Well, lunch ends with him saying to me, "Hey, you can count on a $50,000 check coming immediately, and then you can go ahead and count on our foundation doing another 50,000 per year for the next 5 years, so
Wow.
$250,000." And so I celebrate that as a win, not because of anything that I did,
Right.
but just being able to go and sit in that conversation and just and be me, be not feel like I'm just told stories and just the why behind it. And so it was really cool that happened on the 2 year anniversary of us buying the building. It just kind of like put some wind in our sails to be like, okay, this is going to be really cool. So
Yeah. You know what? I that's it's similar. My win's similar to that, in the same kind of frame of. It happens because you were just consistent. Like, so you were consistently doing what you did with the coffee shop. And as a result, you created a place for that person to just give in a way that they didn't know. And then that set the stage for that conversation. Like, that conversation doesn't happen in the way it does if you don't open the coffee shop where they just go and attend and just, do all
Yeah.
that. And I think it's similar. So what was really cool was yesterday I was in Florida. I was hanging out with my parents and I got two messages from people and they were, "Hey, here's my win for the week." I didn't text them and ask them for what their win was. These people, unprompted, were
Wow.
thinking, "I have a win and I need to tell Joel." And I was like, "Okay, now that's cool because that means the thing that we've been trying to do, which is create somewhat of a culture of thinking, being mindful of wins. That's step one. Step two is then now sharing your wins with others, other guys, right? That's step two. And those guys got to step two. And one of them, in his win, was like, "Hey, I started therapy because I have a lot of trauma that I didn't know. And I had always been putting it off and saying, like, I'll be fine. I don't need this. I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it." Well, he started and he was like, "Wow, like it was crazy even to just feel that healing and peace from the first time and seeing, okay, this is gonna be a long road, but like this is worth it." And so that was so cool to me. Unprompted, he texted me, and then another friend, same, like they texted me. It was a different win. It was, hey, he had applied for a visa to be a United States visa. He got it, and he finally got it, and the process was approved, and he finally got it in the mail. All that kind of stuff. Like, but that was his two people, unprompted, texted me their wins, and I was
That's
just like,
fantastic.
yes, that is it. That's when you know we're doing it. So,
Yes.
and it's so cool too because technically none of these episodes are live yet. So it's just been you and I texting people when we record these episodes that no one's hearing yet. That we're already starting the culture. So hopefully by April 14th, which will have already passed because this podcast is episode like 7 or whatever, like that culture is already going, and
Yeah.
people are unpromptedly sending us wins and just sending it to our social medias and all that kind of stuff. So
I love
anyway,
it. Yeah. And that's what we wanted to see happen. So that's it's breathing into a dream and it becoming and seeing that it's becoming reality. So well, that's fantastic. I've got a couple of wins that I was going to share. Two, we've talked about this. I'm going to just post those at the end of the podcast.
mm-hmm.
These are audio texts that have come through the past couple of days, and I, I hope we can get more of these. I love, like, there's something about hearing someone
Yes.
say their win. I mean, it's great to be able to read the win, but to be able to hear them. So I'm hoping that by the time that we are 7 weeks in, that we've got more of these to be able just to kind of tack on to our podcast. But this one's kind of a so I had one of my friends. He's a friend now, but at one point was a trainer for me when I was in CrossFit, and he's almost coming up on his 1 year anniversary. And so first year of married life, he's kind of gone through his own sort of like
Mm-hmm.
getting in the right rhythms and stuff. But he said his when he's got two. First one is that he's running again with little or no pain in his foot, which I
Great.
think is I get that. And then the second is actually hitting the gym 4 times this week. That's been hard to do that lately. And the thing about that is that I know this guy is like all about fitness. Like
Mm.
he is. I mean, just I mean, he was a trainer. He was a trainer when I was at the Y. Then I went to the CrossFit gym that he was a trainer at, and I think sometimes people that are in that world, and I mean, you're a trainer, and so you know that you're not always just like getting PRs, and
Yep.
you're not always just killing it going in every day of the week like that. But and so I think so many people, as it relates to fitness and health and fitness, get so discouraged that they're like, I mean, I'm not consistent, so what?
Yeah.
Just throw it in the
Yeah.
towel. And here's this guy who is a very physically active, physically fit guy, just being like, I'm celebrating that I got in there 4 times this week,
Yep.
um, which has been hard to do. And so I just it kind of it lowers the bar for the rest of us. I think that it's like, oh, okay, yeah, even he struggles, then it's okay
Yeah.
if I'm struggling too.
Well, so we're gonna play that one and then another one, or the two at the end? Or that one was a different one.
That's a different one. That's the one that actually sent me a text. So I
Got
would
it.
love to.
All
I'll
right. Well, then
post it over to you.
I'll list off all the ones that I got. So, uh,
Oh, more. You're gonna win this one.
I always win now because I
You,
text
you
more
do.
people. This is Jason. He's from the gym. He said so. He's been working on getting double unders, and he said he was finally able to string five together without stopping, which is more than he's ever been able to do. And here's the cool thing: he's been doing CrossFit for a while, and I love it when people who are older and who've been doing CrossFit for a long time say, "You know what? I want to get better at this skill, or I want to get this skill." And one of the people that blows my mind is this lady. Her name's Miss Vicky. She's 78. She's a little heavier set. She's been really good about losing weight and being good about her nutrition. So she's lost a lot of weight. But she's also had issues with her knees, and so she's never really been able to jump rope. But she decided, I'm going to lose weight to make it easier for me so I can actually start jump roping. She's 78. She lost her husband like 3 years ago. And she said, I'm going to do this. And so now she does it. She jump ropes. And I look around and I'm guys, hey guys, you people who have said like, I'll get double unders eventually who can jump rope. Like she's closer to it now than you are because she just got jump rope and she could use that momentum. But there are people who, are like, well, I'll just keep showing up and we'll see or whatever. But there's the fact that someone would say, I want to get better. Like there's a way I could get better. So I'm going to try to get better in this. So I love it. I love it when people do that. So that's Jason. McGinnis was saying, I don't know what my win is. And I said, I know you have one. And so he said, it's getting some really good bonding times with his son, Junior, this week at night. And I was like, yes, always love those. Christian, he said he's been sick though for like 3 weeks, but he finally got to get a workout in, and he said it felt really good. Paul, he said I totally get this one. I can relate. He said he's been become a real homebody and neglected friendships, but this week he worked on that and had 3 social interactions. Like he got out and met with people, which was a big deal, which I said, I agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Here's another one I can identify with. Excuse me, Billy went on family vacation and he was actually able to stay present and enjoy the moments without worrying about other things. It was nice to be able to turn off the normal anxiety of life and just be. Bro, preach.
Yeah.
This guy at the gym is named Ilya. He has never done CrossFit until this year, and he works at the gym. And he did the CrossFit Open for the first time, and he made it to the quarterfinals like a little jerk. No, he beat me in a couple of the workouts, and I was like, you don't even like CrossFit. Now you're just better than everyone. Okay. But no, that is a big deal because it's not easy. And as someone who watched us do at least one of them, you're like, yeah, it's not fun. All right, so let's see.
No,
All right,
we're
got so
proud to
many.
see you.
All right, Brad, he's given us a couple before. Honestly, I think my favorite one is, so he's a guy who does t-shirts. Like he has a t-shirt printing company. He does stuff for the gym. He launched a e-commerce store on his site to host a suicide awareness and memorial shirt for a close friend who lost his son, and that the foundation and build will actually allow him to start pushing more of their own branded gear. So, but it's like it's a starting from this really cool opportunity to talk more about, hey, we need to be aware about this because of the loss of his friend's son. So like, but I love it. I love that. Like, me, I'm super passionate about this. You're passionate about it. You can't really bring any more awareness. Like you can't bring too much awareness.
Not at all.
Like,
Not at
you
all.
need to constantly do it. So I love that. And then he also has a couple working out ones where he's been into rucking. He's trying to ruck a lot, and he's crossed over 100 miles so far in rucking, which I love that. Couple guys like Matt, he started a new job. He took a leap of faith to start a new job, and it worked out in his favor. Another guy named Tyler did the same thing. He started his own business, which is actually a very cool business. And I don't know why more people don't do this. It's a mobile mechanic business, and it's fantastic.
Oh, wow.
Like, why would you not do that? It's so easy. Like, people will pay more money to have the convenience of not having to take their Jeep to go get fixed. If it's just like, hey, just go, but you're gonna meet me at my house. You're just gonna come to my house and you do all of it. Oh, okay, great. So, I mean, you guys, you Jeep people should like that because you just empty every pocket.
Shots fired.
Another Paul. His kids have been with the in-laws, so this week he got to spend a ton of time with his wife, which both you and I can totally empathize with. Let's see. Another guy lost. He's now lost like 15 pounds, and he actually was able to present a new initiative to his boss, and it went really, really well. And then he said his wife and him had been doing really better, a lot better. They weren't doing really well to start the year, but like he felt like they're now communicating and better aligning on like what's important. And so he's also feels like the Lord's helping soften his heart towards his wife and his kids. So I'm like, love to hear that. Another one from the gym, guy's named Dave. He was able to do the workout as prescribed for the first time in a long time.
That's a big deal.
It's a big deal. Another person, a gym goal. His name's John. He ran 30 minutes 3 out of the 5 days this week. That's huge. I love this one. Another guy from the gym's name's Joe. I would say my win for the week was overcoming hurdles that have been building up and keeping me from moving forward. I entered the week feeling stuck in body and mind, but I forced myself to go work out Monday morning, and it helped me relax to overcome those physical and mental blocks. In the short 45 minutes, I ran through those hurdles that were holding me back and set the tone for a wonderful week.
Love that.
I'm like, yes, it's great. Another person, he's teaching him, like he's actually learning to like swim, but like swim, not just like swim, but he's learning swimming strokes and stuff. He wants to just swim more. So he's like taking lessons and doing self-taught stuff. I'm like, yes. This one's funny. It's a guy I used to train in Olympic lifting. His name is Mark. I said, what was your win? He said, you texting me. And I said, shut up. He said, well, you asked for a win, and it's true. And I was like, wow, that was very kind.
Oh, what a guy. What a guy.
Oh, my gosh. Another person named Ryan. He hit a PR in his bench press he hit 255 for 2, which is the first time he's ever done that. Heck yes. Okay, last one, I think. Yep, last one. Finished 3 continuing education courses. Again, to gain more credits, he needs to maintain his fitness certifications there. It's the guy who got that personal training certification a while ago, or not that long ago. His name's Kelston. Those are all the wins.
Man, listen at that. I totally paid attention to all of those, but I have to just you have the whole idea of intrusive thoughts, right? You and I've talked about intrusive thoughts. So the whole time that we've been doing this podcast, I have had an intrusive thought, and it has been inspired by your hat.
Melon.
I sent a text to you of a orange creamsicle popsicle. It makes me like I want to go get one from now. Like there's something about it that's like I haven't had the orange push-ups.
Yes, I know what you're talking about. Yes, I'm looking at the picture you just sent me right now. Are you gonna go get an orange creamsicle?
I think I am. I think that's going to make my day and my tire crap so much better.
Probably would. And funnily enough, hey, I did tell my parents that. I was like, life isn't lived unless you live it through impulsivity. And they're like, what? Because we were on the water for lunch, and they're like right on the waterway. And I said, what would happen if I just jumped in? Are you allowed to just do that? They're like, no. But no. I was like, you can't just jump into the water from the restaurant? They're like, no. Like, what is wrong? What is wrong with you?
Oh my gosh. You are such a kid, just a grown kid, and you know what? People like me need people like you in our lives to be like, because I would be like, that's just you can't do that, you can't do that, you can't do that, and you're like, yeah, why can't you? Why can't? Of course you can.
I'm like, let's just jump in and then eat lunch soaking wet from waterway water. Also, it's the reason why we ended up getting ice cream, because we were driving home and there was right out of nowhere, you see this little hole in the wall ice cream place, and I was like, oh, cool, ice cream. They're like, oh, well, you want some? I was like, yeah, let's turn around and go. And they're like, oh, okay.
Well, it's working for me today. I'm finding a creamsicle today before
You
the
won't
day.
you won't do it. You won't do it.
I'm going to, and I'm going to text you a picture of it so you can know that your melon hat inspired me.
Well, hey, this is what I'll say. I feel better, and I also feel more motivated to go work out and do something because we encouraged each other and did this, which is what we're supposed to do, and what we're trying to get you guys to do is to do that with each other and with us, and to send us your wins and subscribe, like, share, all that kind of stuff. But because the hope is you start to develop this habit of looking for and celebrating the wins in your own life. And celebrating the wins is, you don't celebrate it alone. When you celebrate with people. So what I mean by that is you should have people that you can send your win to. And if you don't have anyone that you believe you can send a win to, you have two people whose name is Shannon and Joel. Like two guys who would love to hear your win, who would also love to tell other guys about your win on our podcast called Stretch the
Absolutely.
Podcast. So, and that's why we did this. And I still feel it's so crazy that we're recording these episodes and, like, it hasn't even launched yet, but it feels, I don't know, it just feels like momentum's already been building because people are just starting to celebrate their wins, and how
There's
powerful that.
there's some teeth to this. There really is some teeth to this because I'm sitting here. I've been kind of had it in the back of my head. This kind of like I want to go pull out my running shoes and go running again. And the temperatures are getting warmer, and I've got a great little loop around my house that would be a
Yep.
good like 3.5 miles or 5K kind of thing. And I'm like, I want to do that. And the weather's supposed to be really nice tomorrow. So what happens is I sit here and I listen to this. It's like, yeah, you know what? I know it's hard, it's kind of, it can be grueling, especially having not run for a while. But there's something that I enjoy about that, and yeah, it's motivating. And so I think that's one of the beautiful things about this is hearing what people are doing, what they're
Yep.
applying themselves to, where they're trying, and they're winning. They're
Yeah.
finding ways to celebrate wins, and it
And it's
motivates
not
the rest of us.
it's not the social media wins, right? It's not the things you see on social media. This is because that doesn't make you want to do anything. That makes you want to retreat and not do anything. It makes you feel worse about yourself. But it shouldn't, because not the social media side, but this, when you hear another guy who probably understands what you're going through, and their win isn't them like posturing. They're not trying to make you look bad. They're not trying to be like, oh, I have it. You should sign up for my class or my course because I know what you should do.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I'm in the same exact freaking boat as you are, and here's my win.
Yeah.
And my win is I did this in the gym, or I spent time with my kids, or I took a chance at work, or I started a new job. Like, that's their win. So,
It's gold,
hey,
man. It's gold.
everyone, thank you so much for listening and watching as well. We hope that you like it, subscribe, share it with all your friends, and listen in next week for the Stretch Thin podcast.
Send us your wins.
Please, please do it. Send us the wins, please. Sorry, my Arnold. I want to know what is your win, please.
Oh, oh, all right, we're done.
I wake up every day and I wonder what's your win.
You're driving the car. Cut the car off, man. Let's
I
turn
won't.
the car off.
I won't. I won't. Anyway, see y'all. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.